When it comes to cancelled games, Plants vs Zombies has a fair few under their belt, especially over the last few years. Most notably, the very promising looking Project Hot Tub that almost gave us the Plants vs Zombies adventure game we've always wanted. In this pile of cancelled titles also includes Plants vs Zombies Kingdom Edition and the Plants vs Zombies board game. But today we're focusing on another cancelled PvZ game called Talking Zombatar, which is quite different from the rest. And this was a virtual pet app which was based on, of course, Zombatar from the original Plants vs Zombies, and basically you had a pet zombie which you could teach how to dance, you could dress up, you could make videos with them, and interestingly it's the only cancelled game with a trailer, and we can possibly assume therefore it was the most developed. Now, the trailer itself is a pretty polished gameplay trailer. I say pretty polished as the voiceover isn't the best in my opinion, but we get a full overview of the app, how it looks, so we get a shot of the PvZ1 styled UI. Most of the buttons in here look self-explanatory, but I am interested in what this hunt button does. We don't have any explanation of how that feature was going to work, but presumably this was going to be sort of like the mini game where you hunt plants or find brains. The trailer also shows off the augmented reality functions, AR photos and video for example. This was of course at a time where AR was making waves, although it seems to have now faded into the background along with 3D movies and VR. No doubt it will make a comeback when tech is better though. Well, apart from when Pokemon Go took over the world for a while. The trailer also shows off the dance button where the various zombies in ridiculous outfits, which do look very funny indeed, and you also could earn daily rewards. So if we got this snazzy trailer, why was this game cancelled so late in its development? The trailer had been released, they'd obviously been given the green light for stuff. So yeah, why did this get cancelled? Well, the short answer is we don't actually know. As far as we're aware, there's no official reason for the cancellation. However, the one suspected reason is due to a game called Talking Tom, which you may remember. This is probably the most popular virtual pet game, and especially at the time when it was released back in 2010. Now, I can't remember how or why it became so popular. It's just one of those weird phenomenons that just get lost in the back of your mind and then randomly you remember it. Now, whilst both games worked in pretty much the same way, the only feature that Talking Zombatar had that Talking Tom didn't was the AR functionality. I checked in on the App Store as well, and Talking Tom is still being updated, with the latest update being released just last week. Now, obviously, the original PvZ already had a Zombatar mode, so this could have contributed as well. And as we all know, that allowed you to customize your own zombie. Now, I don't know about you, dancing AR videos are cool and all, but having the zombie you created appear in one of the greatest games of all time is far, far cooler in my opinion. Now, I think one of the biggest flaws of Talking Zombatar is that the only pet you could have was a zombie, and yes, the name of the game is Zombatar, but I feel like if they called it PvZ Pets or PvZ Avatars or something like that, it'd have given them more scope to do something a bit more in depth. For me personally, in a pet game, don't you think plants would have made the perfect characters? Like, plants actually grow, they need sunlight, water, soil temperature, so you could have had all of that interaction. It's like in the most recent version of PvZ3, you could grow that sunflower, so it would have been really cool to have that concept and you actually see the animation and see it grow. But perhaps this was just supposed to be a gimmicky app to help with the marketing of Plants vs Zombies 2. Having said that, the Zombatar trailer was released over a year before PvZ2 was released, plus the UI having the PvZ1 styling, it makes me feel that that isn't the case. But it would have been cool if PvZ2 had a Zombatar mode and it would connect to this app with the same customizations, like rewards you unlocked in Talking Zombatar could have unlocked unique stuff in PvZ2. The problem I think though is that they were going up against a giant. The popularity of Talking Tom was so big that they would have had to have done something pretty spectacular to beat it. And I think one of the problems was that the interaction just wasn't on the same level as Talking Tom. You could interact with Tom in lots of different ways. You had to look after his needs and help him grow, and he would actually grow. The problem with zombies is that they don't need anything. They can't grow, they're dead, and all they want is brains. So perhaps that's what led them to pulling the plug. And whilst earlier I said that this was possibly the most developed cancelled game that we got, maybe that wasn't the case. I mean, it was a relatively small app, perhaps it didn't take much development time, and I thought if we can't do something so in depth like Talking Tom has done, then should we really be doing it? And game studios often have to do a vertical slice, as we saw with Project Hot Tub. There's bits of gameplay, they could have edited that into some sort of trailer, so perhaps it was less developed than what the trailer was showing. But then again, PopCap must have known what they were going up against when they started to create this, so it is still strange, and maybe the reason isn't that interesting. Maybe they just didn't get given the funds that they needed to create it how they wanted to, or maybe they just had a better idea. Maybe they thought, yeah, let's not try and do this, let's focus on our next game, Plants vs Zombies 2. This is all hypothetical, of course, I don't have any insider information, so I am interested to hear what you guys think. Why do you think Talking Zombatar got cancelled? Let me know in the comments below. But yeah guys, that's about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to hit those like and subscribe buttons, and I shall see you in the next one. Okay, thanks guys, bye.